everybody. Today I'm going to be discussing with you the media and how it promotes unrealistic, really unhealthy images for women and how that impacts women's lives dramatically. So if you think of any young female celebrity, usually you're going to think of someone who's got perfect teeth, perfect hair, is really thin, and has like the perfect complexion. And to women, those images are seen as desirable ways to look because that's what's popular. And so many obsess over that and to be fit and pretty, and to the point that they are going to be affecting their mental and their physical health-wise. So several studies have been shown to support this issue, and I've personally known also many women affected by this, including myself. So first we're going to talk about the history and statistics behind the issue. Most people have heard about the body issue that we have in today's society, but it's a more serious matter than people realize. According to an EBSCO-host article, Body Image in the Media, the widespread use of television throughout like the 1950s is pretty much what started the whole thing. Women were being showed with desirable thin bodies, which they were fashion models, and then also large emphasis on large breasts was a thing as well. And then this image escalated quickly, more so with the internet coming back in the 1980s, and it's grown ever since. Now that the internet is available anytime and anywhere, those body images are just promoted all the time, and it's for intake for anybody using the media, especially with teenage girls. And seeing extraordinarily thin body types promoted and praised in the media has led to obsessions of looking desirable and picture perfect all the time, pretty much. To achieve this perfect look, a lot of teenage girls will begin to eat in an unhealthy way, which majority of the time that develops into eating disorders such as anorexia and bulimia. According to eating disorder statistics and research, an estimated 1 to 4% of women suffer from anorexia at some point in their life, and up to 4% of women just in the US will suffer from bulimia in their lifetime at some point. And anorexia also has the highest fatality rate for any mental illness, including depression, anxiety, anything. And also, depression and anxiety also can develop from having a low self-esteem due to the media images shown. So, in my lifetime, I've seen many women struggle with mental illnesses created by the media, including myself. So growing up in a beauty-idolized world, it's hard not to feel inferior to women around you. My mom and I used to watch America's Next Top Model when I was younger, and I always remembered being really envious of the models and just wish I was be beautiful as them someday. And then also all throughout middle school and high school, I would obsess over how I looked, and the mirror became my worst enemy. I never went without a full face of makeup to school. I didn't want anybody to see how ugly I was. And also, I would constantly check my hair and my makeup in the mirror and just, look at myself and find anything that was wrong with me. My eyebrows were different sizes or something, or my nose was really chubby or anything like that. And also my skin had acne problems a lot. So this guy, like I said, became my worst enemy, and I would just be constantly looking at myself and just finding wrong things about myself. I remember also seeing an upperclassman in the hallway one time, not wearing any makeup at all, and she looked beautiful, and I was like, wow, I hope I get to be like that someday, that I can go out without makeup on and feel like I'm actually pretty. And constantly worrying about this and how I looked, and self-criticism to myself had definitely fueled my depression and anxiety, which I still struggle with a little bit to this day. So it just definitely had a big effect on my life. Now I can look in the mirror and look at everything that I think would be wrong back then and just be like, that's just who I am. That's me. That's me being unique, and I can look at myself and be like, look at that, look at you. So so I don't let it bother me too much anymore, but for a while there it was pretty rough. And I also have learned over the years that many people around me have struggled with this as well. A friend on my cross-country team, I remember her telling me her testimony essentially that in 6th grade she had just been obsessed with being thin, and because everyone in her family was a little on the heavier side, so she's like, I'm not going to be like them, I'm going to be thin, I'm going to be thin, and she eventually developed anorexia, and she still struggles to this day with that. Not nearly as much, of course, but again, that just shows the long-lasting effect of that kind of thing. Also, one girl that I work with, she still can get queasy from like certain smells of foods that like she would binge eat and then just throw up, like for bulimia. She still like gets a little triggered to this day because of that. And then also many of my really close friends still really struggle with negative self-images. Just definitely their depression. So it was really difficult to see people that I love, including myself, struggle with something like this just because of the media, like, has impacted us that way. And like I said, your reflection is something that you take lightly, usually people, but for like teenage girls or even grown women, they will look at that reflection and then just destroy themselves through that, and just with constant disappointment in themselves that way. And most women don't even voice their struggles, because all the statistics that I said beforehand, that's just people that have told people that they're dealing with that, but most people keep that stuff to themselves because they don't want to like bother anybody, or they're going to feel ashamed about it. And so just, someone in your life, you might even know them, and they could be suffering from exactly the same thing. And so, yeah, in conclusion, the media has warped the minds of women into pursuing an unrealistic standard of beauty. Many studies have shown just how harmful these motives can be, and then being affected by this myself, as well as others in my life, I've seen just how ugly of an issue body image can be in the media. How long was that?
7:30.
Okay.
Should I pan around to everybody?
No. I have no makeup on. No.
I have to.
No.
I have to.
No.
Yes, you have to see, you can just cover your face.
It's already covered. How many minutes is it supposed to be?
7.